Hello, everybody. Just in case y'all don't know who I am, most of y'all know who I am, but just in case you don't know, my name is Ricardo Hicks. I do apologize for my shirt. This is my work shirt, but I am praying and believing that I could trade this work shirt in to do something that I actually want to do, which is sport broadcasting. Now, I have a bulletin area that I'm going to run through today. This is only a snippet. It's not the real show. Like I said, it's a snippet of what the show So Disrespectful is all about. That's the title of my sports show that I'm going to be doing every week. It's basically, it's talking about what's going on in sports today. Basketball, football, even though football's over, we still have a lot of football things to talk about. You know, basketball is in the thick of things. We got the All-Star game coming around. We're going to talk about that, talk about the teams that's going on. We even got baseball that's coming up in a couple months with spring training. We can talk about that. It basically is a show that we talk about sports all the time. And the show, like I said, is called So Disrespectful. As you can see, I got the mic in my hand. The reason for the mic is because I'm also doing a podcast show as well. And with the podcast, I already got the account. I'm going to be doing the show on YouTube, putting it on Facebook, putting it on Instagram, putting on any social media that's out there, and also putting on podcast so that if you couldn't see the video, you can see it through the iTunes podcast. Now, the benefits of it. The benefits of the show is basically just for the fans. We're the fans. You know, I don't have a degree in journalism or business or writing, anything of that nature, but I'm a man who follows sports for a long period of time. I'm a man who knows a lot about stats. I'm a man who knows a lot about sports. Yes, some is considered an opinion, but with my opinion, the same as you got guys like Stephen A. Smith, Mike in the Morning, Nick Cattles. Oh, a very good shout out to Nick Cattles for responding to me and talking to me about how to start on sports broadcasting. I do definitely want to say thank you, Nick Cattles. If y'all don't know who Nick Cattles is, go definitely look at him on a radio show. But like I said, the benefits of the show is for us. We're the fans. A lot of times we look at Sports Center, we look at ESPN. We got shows like First Take, Undisputed. We got different shows where it's us basically listening to the critics and the journalism. So what this show is, I'm going to start bringing fans that wants to talk about sports. I have a lot of fans that knows a lot about sports and want to talk about it. But, you know, they really don't have a platform to talk about it. So this is what this show is all about. The show's called, like I said, it's called So Disrespectful. So with this show, we will get raw and rugged. Of course, no cussing, nothing like that. But it's going to get raw and rugged. We're not going to hold no punches back. Sometimes I may bring me, a couple of my friends. They're going to talk about show. They're going to go head to head. And we're going to put it on, like I said, Facebook. We're going to put it on Twitter. We're even going to put it on podcasts so everyone can hear it. You know, there's expectations. Well, my expectation, like I said at the beginning of, is that this is my passion. I love sports. I love sports. I love talking about sports. I love even interacting about sports. So my expectation that this right here can be a platform for something big and great ahead of my way. And I'm willing to go through the trenches, to go through what I have to go through for this show to take off. And I'm always going to have everybody else that want to be a part of it. Like I said, I always get everybody opportunities. I'm not going to look at your credentials. I'm not going to look and say, do you got this type of degree? Because a lot of times, a degree is nothing but a piece of paper. Not saying the school is wrong, but a lot of times you may know more than the person who went to school for 4 or 5 years that just give random numbers. Well, you got the one guy who actually looked at the numbers, looked at the facts, looked at stuff, and even gave a valid opinion. So there's a difference between valid opinion and then just made up stuff. And what this show is, we're going to do some valid opinion, valid things that we're going to talk about. Next day, like I said, I talked about the podcast. I talked about my passion for it. Like I said, this is only a snippet. So there's nothing like a long period show. The show will be coming on. I have an intro for the show. I have what I'm going to talk about on the show. This is a snippet. And what we're going to talk about today is the whole Charles Barkley versus LeBron James quote-unquote beef. My thing about the Charles Barkley and LeBron James beef, I compare it to the Nas and Jay-Z beef. Now, some of y'all, if y'all not old enough, or some of y'all may not remember, Jay-Z battled Nas. Jay-Z had Takeover, Nas had Ether. See, Jay-Z came from a standpoint of a fan. And what he talked about was the numbers and the fan standpoint, while Nas came back at Jay-Z with personal stuff. That's somehow it is with the LeBron James and also with the Charles Barkley thing. LeBron James came with the personal facts, while Charles Barkley came with, it's really from a fan standpoint, from a critic standpoint, like just things that honestly we talk about a lot. See, a lot of times we talk about some things that these critics will say. We will say like, well, LeBron James wanted to join the Miami Heat because he didn't want to compete. We will say things like Kevin Durant joined the Golden State Warriors because he couldn't get over the hump of beating them when they were literally up by 3-1 lead. See, we say stuff like this to each other, but when somebody puts it in front, now it's an issue. So my thing is, when I listened to and read what they said, it was some very personal things that LeBron James said about Charles Barkley that was like, really, you sound like somebody very sensitive. I understand you may be mad. I understand there's a lot of guys, talk about you and you probably get tired of it. But you can't come at somebody, the media, because honestly, you're not going to win against the media. That's what it is. A lot of athletes try to go against the media and lose big time because the media always going to have that pen. And that pen is like a sword. And it will literally tear you apart to the fact that it will even go after your career. Now, for example, Charles Barkley, if y'all have not heard what he said about LeBron James, this is what he said. He said inappropriate, whiny, all of the above. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they have given him everything he wanted. They had the highest payroll in NBA history. He wanted J.R. Smith last summer. They paid him. He wanted Iman Shumpert last summer. They bought Kyle Korver. He's the best player in the world. Does he want all the good players? He don't want to compete. He's an amazing player. They're the defending champs. Now, even though some people may say, that was really harsh, but he's really telling what a lot of times we think about. You want these players. You get what you want. Everything LeBron James wants, he gets. Let's be real. When he came to the Cleveland Cavaliers, they had Kyrie Irving, but he wanted Kevin Love. He wanted J.R. Smith. He wanted Iman Shumpert. So they brought him. Like I said, he wanted Kyle Korver. They brought him. Remember a guy named Chris Anderson Birdman? He brought him too. He even wanted Ray Allen, but Ray Allen retired. Yeah, one time, if you look it up, he also wanted Mike Miller as well. So LeBron James gets what he wants. So when somebody brings it to you, the fact that you get what you want, how can you really go after somebody that's telling you what you basically already did? Now, Shaq said that he don't agree with him, and he actually would have came before Barkley. But that's a totally different thing for a totally different conversation. But like I said, that's just coming from a pen. That's coming from what we see. Just like I said, the Jay-Z thing, what we see. We see that when LeBron James come to a team, whatever he wants, he basically gets. See, we see that. Now, like I said, LeBron James took it to the heart. He took it to the fact that this is something that you can't talk about me about. So what did LeBron James say about Charles Barkley? He talked about his past. He talked about a lot of things he did in the NBA. So one of the things he's told the reporters is the fact that he's not gonna let someone mess up his legacy. Okay, granted, you're right. We don't want nobody to do that. But you say this, that LeBron, that he's a hater. What makes what he says credible? Because he's on TV. I know he wanted to retire a long time ago, but he can't. He's stuck on that stage every week. Okay, you're taking a couple shots, but this is where you get really, really just like, whoa, okay, so you really want to go there. I'm not the one who threw somebody through a window. I never spit on a kid. I never had unpaid debt in Las Vegas. I never said I'm not a role model. I never showed up to All-Star Weekend on Sunday because I was in Vegas all week partying. All I've done for my entire career is represent the NBA the right way. 14 years, never got in trouble. Respect the game, print that. Now, when you hear something like that, you're saying like, whoa, okay, you really are going personal with a guy who really just came from a a more of a critic, more of a observer view. So my thing, I ask people, when this happened, a lot of people was getting on. They said that Charles Barkley, that he was wrong for what he said. Even LeBron James was wrong for it, even though they both was right in some aspect, but they were wrong what they said. But then you got people that want to back up LeBron James. I want y'all to remember a time. Y'all remember? I don't know if y'all, some of y'all might not remember this guy, but some of y'all may do. There was a quarterback named Ryan Leaf who came during the year of Peyton Manning. Now Ryan Leaf had a terrible. He probably was one of the biggest busts in the NFL. Probably is number one. But the time he got into it with a journalist because of what he wrote about him, and a lot of people got on Ryan Leaf. They say he was immature. The things he said, it was wrong. You know, he should have did that because he went off on him. But isn't this almost the exact same thing LeBron James did to Charles Barkley? You talked about a man's past. Yes, you can go do some research. A lot of stuff did happen. Yes, it really did. But the simple fact is the fact that he came from a standpoint that, like I said, friends said, people talk about it, says it all the time. A lot of us said that he went to the Miami Heat because he didn't want to really compete. He needs some superstars. A lot of us said that. There's not one person who can really say, like, no, he really went there because he just chose it because he liked the environment and everything. That may be true. But he really went there because Dwayne Wade, who's an all-star, who is a Hall of Famer, he went there, brought in Chris Bosh. So LeBron James joined them three. Remember the same thing he said when he was on the stage? That he's going to go win 3, 4, 5, and all those different types of champions. So anybody going to look at us like, oh, you want a free pass. That's what it is. And that's how we look at it right now. When you were with the Miami Heat, there was a young lion named Kyrie Irving that was doing something to the Cavaliers. Even though they may not win it, a lot of us, the fans, the players, we all saw what Kyrie Irving was doing in Cleveland. Like, okay, this rookie is kind of a beast. Like, Kyrie Irving is kind of nice. So LeBron saw that and said, if I join the Cleveland Cavaliers with this guy right here, I can help him build even more. Because I see how great of a talent he is. I feel like I don't have to do as much work because I got Kyrie Irving. So here goes Kyrie. Now, mind you, the Cleveland Cavaliers drafted Andrew Wiggins. They also had Varejao. They also had Tristan Thompson, of course. But he wanted another player. Here comes Kevin Love. Now, if you know Kevin Love's history, Kevin Love was a monster with the Timberwolves. The man was almost averaging like, what, 20 points, 20 rebounds? Okay, now I need someone. He was a superstar. Remember, he went to the All-Star. So I need a superstar to come to my team. Boom, here comes Miami Heat. Cleveland Cavaliers, excuse me. So he comes over there. Now you got Kyrie, LeBron, and you got Kevin Love. We'll keep Tristan Thompson because Tristan Thompson was actually he was a nice center. So who we go shooting guard? J.R. Smith. Let's bring in J.R. Smith. So you bring in J.R. Smith. Well, we also need some defense as well. Let's bring in Iman Shumpert. So you get what you want. Like Charles Barkley said, you get what you want. Mind you, he wanted Ray Allen, but Ray Allen retired. Ray Allen thought about coming, but he retired. He wanted Mike Miller. He wanted to bring some players from the Heat. Remember, James Jones came from the Heat to the Cavaliers. Birdman, Chris Anderson, came from the Heat to the Cavaliers. He wanted to bring Mike Miller. He wanted to bring Ray Allen. So he wanted to bring 4 players that he know from the Heat to the Cavaliers, and he got 3. So he got James Jones, he got Birdman. Actually, excuse me, he got 2 because Mike Miller didn't come through and Ray Allen retired. So he got 2 players. Okay. Now, my personal thing is, I understand everyone gets mad. I understand that you may have a boiling point. And I understand a lot of people say, oh, yes, this is the LeBron James that we need. Well, you came at somebody, at Charles Barkley, and then you, honestly, let's be real. Barkley is credible. Barkley is a Hall of Famer. Barkley was nasty in his time. The man literally was a rebound machine. Big body. He had a jumper. It's a simple fact that, yes, he ran against a guy. You might not know this guy. You know, he's somewhat popular. His name is Michael Jordan. He went against Michael Jordan in the finals with the Suns, and Michael won. He also had all-star team in the Houston Rockets. With Hakeem Olajuwon, you had Clyde Drexler, you had Big Shot Horry, Robert Horry for some people may not know. You had Kenny Smith, you had Ellie, you had players on them. So he went against that team. So here's another thing. So he has somewhat credibility. That's like saying Dan Marino doesn't have any type of credibility if he wanted to talk about maybe Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. Granted, we know Tom Brady is the greatest, stat-wise, the greatest quarterback in the NFL because he won 5 Super Bowls, been to 5 Super Bowls, been to 7. So number-wise, he is. Even though some people still want to put Joe Montana above Tom Brady because Joe Montana was 4 for 4. The same, honestly, basically the exact same as the Michael Jordan and LeBron James conversation. Because Michael Jordan went to 6 championships, so he's 6-0. LeBron James went to multiple, but he only won 3. So this is the exact same comparison as the Joe Montana and the Tom Brady thing. That's why a lot of times fans will say, no, we believe, even though he may have numbers, Michael Jordan is still the greatest player of all time. Because, one, what he did for the NBA, and 2, he never switched teams. There's a lot of people who say that. But back to the LeBron James Charles Barkley thing. Like I said before, both of them was right in some aspects. It's just the fact that Barkley took it, like I said, from a standpoint of, I'm a fan, let's be real. He took it from a standpoint of a fan. LeBron took it from a standpoint of, like, who are you trying to talk to? You trying to talk to me? You have no right to even talk about my name type ordeal. So, like I said, this is only a snippet of the show, so disrespectful. I'm having more to talk about. I'm also going to talk about the baseball season. Then we're going to talk about is the New England Patriots dynasty the best dynasty in the NFL of all time, which means that the New England Patriots will go against the Niners of the 80s, the Cowboys of the 90s, and the Steelers of the 70s. Even further to like the Packers. See, we're gonna go through all that, and we're gonna discuss to see exactly is they really the best dynasty of all time in NFL. We're also gonna discuss Tom Brady. Is he without numbers? Because number-wise, yes, he's the best quarterback of all time. But is he considered the best from a whole standpoint? We're gonna talk about that. We're also going to give it to a little baseball a little later on down, when in the spring training, or later on down. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the All-Star break that's coming up. We're going to talk about a lot of different things right now. And we're also going to bring in, like I said, some of my friends that want to discuss a lot about sports. You know, I'm going to shout his name out because he had a lot of knowledge about sports. If y'all know, his name is OW. He had a lot of knowledge about sports. Jefferson, he had a lot of knowledge about sports. Like, I had a lot of friends who have a lot of knowledge, and they just talking just to be talking. So they'll be able to come on the show, have a discussion about it. And then what we also will do is I'll also find ways to have a phone call, because just in case somebody can't come, they'll have a phone call. Right now, like I said, my location is at my house. I want to give a shout out to Tobias for the studio and the mic that he brought me right now. This mic I'm using is the same mic I use for my Xbox. But right now I'm doing the job because I'm recording on Audacity. As soon as I finish this, I'm going to be putting it on podcast to get that thing set up. And then once the location become better. And I see he also was just watching Matt Jenkins, you know. That man also know a whole lot about sports. Actually, a lot of guys I'm going to do a shout out right now to all the guys in BJ's that used to work in the Tire Bay. You know, I'm going to give a shout out to all y'all. From Tyrone to Rakim to Matt to Ty to everybody, even Vernon. So I'm going to give a shout out because a lot of y'all was really the ones who really pushed me to want to do this. Because a lot of times, think about it, every time I used to come out for work, I would head right back to Tire Bay, and we would talk about sports for hours, even though I know I had to leave, but we could talk about sports for hours. So I definitely want to thank y'all for pushing it. I want to give a thanks to even Brian Mitchell for responding to some things that I said. want to give thanks to a lot of guys on Twitter who, when I would put things up, they would say, okay, you speaking a lot of knowledge. That I like that. I also want to give a thanks, like I said, I gave thanks to Nick Cattles. But I just want to give, if there's anybody that I forgot, like one of my friends said, Derek Hale, don't charge it to my heart, charge it to my head. You know, I do apologize if I forgot your name, but I definitely give thanks to everyone. And but most importantly, before I end this, I have to give the honorable thanks and the honorable love to God, because God knew that this was my passion. God knew I love sports. Anybody can tell you, but mostly God knows that I will talk about sports all day and not get tired of it at all. Whether it be from real life, even down to video game sports, I will talk about sports all day. Somebody talking about him. So I definitely give an honor thanks to my Lord for this, for the drive for this, because this right here is something I went to school for. I was going to Liberty University for. I'm still going to Liberty University for it. But I'm just, like I said, doing this in the meantime. So the fact that when it's time for me to get that degree that a lot of companies want, I can already say I put my work in as well by creating my own show. You know, that's what I said. Thanks to Nick Cattles for doing that, for telling me to create your own show, create your own podcast, do this kind of things, get promotions, have people that promote it for you. What I'm also setting up is a GoFundMe account as well. And with this GoFundMe account, it's just a little bit of like money here and there to support the show. What I would do is give you a shout out as well, promote you as well, and give you a blessing and thanks for doing that. Like I just said, man, this is just basically my passion. Like, this is something like, if you have a passion in your life, no matter what it is, don't let nobody tell you can't do it because you don't feel like you got the credentials. Don't let nobody tell you can't do it because you don't got the requirements. If you have a passion for something that you love dearly, go for it. Your biggest enemy actually could not even be people. Your biggest enemy could be yourself, because you will tell yourself that I can't do this. You will tell yourself I don't have the requirements, I don't have the paperwork for it. But you should be able, you have mind over matter. You should tell yourself I can do this. You should tell yourself I will do this because I love doing this. You know, if you can do this for free and have the greatest peace of mind, then that's something you should think about making a business into doing. So I definitely want to say I thank everyone for watching. I see a lot of people watched it, a lot of people viewed it. I definitely want to thank everyone for looking at this. I definitely want to thank everyone for supporting as well, because I heard a lot of people texting me, a lot of people asking me, when is the show? When is the show? When are you going to do this? So, AJ, this is the snippet right here, bro. Tobias as well. I see him with the love. Much love to my brother Tobias. You know, much love to my Bishop Marvin Taft, because he wanted to know Pastor Taft as well. Mama Robin Taft, in case y'all don't know Pastor Robin Taft. Also, we get a shout out because she just popped up to my wife, also Denise Six. If y'all see, you know, got the same last name. But I definitely give a shout out to her for also the drive to do this too, to stay, the constant stay behind me to do this, because she know that this is something I really want to do. Like I said, man, we're gonna just keep on going up, man. You know, we're gonna keep on doing this every week. You know, if you want to hit me up, then I got my Facebook, I got Instagram, I got Twitter too. Hey, a lot of y'all got my phone number as well. And if you don't, you definitely ask for me. Say, hey, can I come on the show? I want to speak to you, or I want to debate about what you said or anything like that. I say, come right ahead. You know, I'm not gonna hold nobody back. I'm not gonna look at you and be like, oh, you don't got the stuff that I need for the show. No, because if I know how passionate you are about sports, I know how passionate you are about talking about things. You are all welcome to come on the show. Like I said before, I definitely want to thank you. I love y'all. Y'all have a great night. You know, even better morning as well as we lay down. This night is 9:25. You know, like I said before, I'm going to finish this up. It's going to be on a podcast as well. And like I said, just a snippet. Wait till the show comes. I got a nice intro for it. Like I said, the show's called So Disrespectful. And we're going to just do big things. I just want to say peace, love, and a bottle of hair grease. I'll see y'all later. Y'all be easy. One love.